Hello traders, this is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix and you're listening to the week ahead video for November 19th, 2017. And happy shortened week, at least for those of us here in North America. It is going to be the Thanksgiving weekend, or week, excuse me. Expect a lot of data early in the week, and then at the end of the week, things might thin out a little bit, but that doesn't mean volatility is going to stay down, especially if you're trading currencies. Some of the best, or actually I should say wildest, trading sessions I've seen over the years have been on Thanksgiving. Some of them have been some of the deadest as well, like where the market doesn't move, no volatility. But then again, if things happen, there's that lack of liquidity, which can create some volatility. So just pay attention to that for those of you that are trading this week. Now, also, if you haven't taken your trial of ForexAnalytix, just do it. Just do it. It's $1 for 10 days. Once you do that, go ahead and download the mobile app from either the App Store or the Google Play Store. You know, there are not, actually, I don't know of any, but I'm sure there's a few out there, but there's not many, if any, Forex analysis apps like ours that push out analysis right to your mobile device. You know, you get alerts and notifications when things are happening, when updates are made. So make sure you download the app, and you can watch a video of the app right here. Just click that little, see this little button right here? You just click on that, and it'll give you the demo of our app and what it does. All right, now let's talk about last week, and then we're going to talk about this week really quick. So last week, the dollar, especially the dollar yen, I know my focus has been a lot on the dollar yen. The dollar yen, it came under pressure, and we saw you know, a nice sell-off, and we're heading down towards the 200-day moving average. And this is going to be really critical support here around the 111.70, 111.80. I'm assuming, based on how bearish the everything closed on Friday, that we're probably going to test that Sunday, if not Monday, but we might see a bounce as well. And I think any rally now up towards 113 or in, you know, above 112.50 is going to find sellers. I think people are now looking at the idea that we posed several weeks ago, and especially if you read the blog this week, about, you know, equity markets are coming under a little bit of pressure, and as they come under pressure, the yen might strengthen a little bit, and that's what has been playing out the last 2 weeks. So I expect to continue that to persist at least over the next couple of weeks before if there is one, a Santa Claus rally in equities. So we might see a little bit more yen strength maybe over the next week or two. So for those of you that have been participating in selling the yen pairs, I hope you've done well in those. I know some of the cross rates like the euro yen and pound yen, they have been choppy, but you can see that here's the euro yen. Euro yen's heading down towards that support as well. If you look at the pound yen's sitting on support, really critical support right here. That's a support zone. You can see the Aussie and the New Zealand yen, those have really come under pressure, and the Aussie yen's actually breaking down. We're at the 618, but we've broken this uptrend line, and the New Zealand yen really has shown it's some downside. And matter of fact, if you're looking at the New Zealand yen, I would expect, now that we're getting oversold on the daily charts, we are going to come into some trendline support soon. You know, RSI is oversold. We're probably going to end up bouncing, but that doesn't mean that we won't see some downside first before we get a bounce. So just be cautious if you're trying to play counter trend. Really quick, also, I want to take a look at the dollar index. The dollar index have shown failure, and this is, go back and listen to the week ahead videos the last couple of 2-3 weeks. I've been very skeptical about this inverted head and shoulder pattern of the dollar index, and it's proved to be, you know, that skepticism has proved to be right. You know, the dollar index has failed. We broke down early this week, and you know, we're sitting on this the 50-day SMA here, which has been holding us thus far. Also, the 38% retracement. So if the dollar index breaks last week's lows, that is a problem. That is going to be a problem. And I've been talking to a lot of some of the traders that I respect the most, and they're all saying the same thing. I don't see any reason to be buying the dollar. Like there's no real reason to be buying the dollar at this point. And if you take a look at bonds, let's just take a look at the 10-year bond market. You know, the 10-year bond market has shown us some signs of life, and if bonds actually reverse here and we get some sort of inverted head and shoulder pattern, well, then you're going to have a bit of an issue with the dollar. The dollar index might really start to show. You know, the dollar index might really start to show some weakness if bonds rally, because if bonds are rallying, yields are falling, and you know that is entirely possible. Now let's talk about next week really quick. Next week we have early on we have ECB President Draghi is speaking in Brussels, I believe, and he's going to be talking about monetary policy. So that's going to be first thing Monday. So be aware of that if you have any euro exposure. I know myself, I actually shorted counter trend. I shorted the euro New Zealand, and I was playing off of this 127% extension. It is bullish. I mean, if you look at even our lights here, our traffic lights on the euro New Zealand, you could see that it is actually a bullish, still very bullish move. However, we are up against 127% extension, and we're up against channel resistance. So I was playing a little counter trend. I have to personally be a little aware of what's happening Monday morning, because like I said, President Draghi, ECB President Draghi is speaking. Also on Monday, we have the RBA monetary policy meeting minutes. That's going to be Tuesday morning in Australia, but Monday late evening for those of us here in North American trade. Tuesday morning, we have the UK inflation report hearing. So if you guys are trading the pound, be careful, because, and I'm going to tell you guys with the cable specifically, if you look at the pound, this is a very, we're in the apex of a triangle. So if you look at the longer term charts, I mean, this, you can see the top end of the triangle here, the lower end of the triangle here. The Bank of England really put the pound under pressure a couple weeks ago, but we've bounced back handsomely this week. But we're smack dab in the middle of the apex. So things are very volatile. It's very choppy. And with the inflation report hearings on Tuesday morning, things could get a little bit more choppy. So I guess when you're trading the cable, trading range extremes for now seems the right trade. I thought the pound was going to come under pressure following this big red bar in the Bank of England 2 weeks ago, and we failed to break down. That was hitting a range extreme and bounced higher. Okay, so I was wrong in thinking that we were going to actually break down after that, and I think that's been the tone of the cable, is you got to play these range extremes until we break out. You know, if we break above 134 or we break below 130, that's when we really have to start thinking more directional. But for right now, just be really careful chasing the pound either higher or lower. On Wednesday morning, we're going to have durable goods orders. They're moving up the unemployment claims for the U.S. From Thursday to Wednesday because of the shortened week. We also have the FOMC meeting minutes. So as a lot of traders are leaving town to go visit family, we are still going to have the FOMC meeting minutes, which shouldn't be too much of a market mover, but you never know. And then also retail sales out of New Zealand are late Wednesday. And it's going to be early, obviously, Thursday morning in New Zealand. So that could be a market mover. And then also on Thursday, okay, so this is Thanksgiving holiday on Thursday. For those of us here in the US, there still is European PMIs, and we have UK second estimate GDP, and then we have Canadian retail sales. So you know, I personally, I'll be getting up early Thursday for Thanksgiving. I'll be in our private chat room for ForexAnalytix subscribers, but we won't have a broadcast, but I'll be watching the market on Thanksgiving morning because we might get some volatility going into the Thanksgiving day. And then on Friday there's a German IFO, which you know, should be paid attention to as well. But things should really thin out on Friday for volatility. But it is going to be a shortened week for a lot of us, and for but for everybody. Volatility could be a little higher if people try to push the market around, because liquidity will be less. I've seen Thanksgiving holidays where nothing happens. I've seen Thanksgiving holidays where we see 300 pip moves, like when the bankruptcy happened in the Middle East. We had a massive move just a few years ago. But guys, just remember, things can be volatile. Oh, another big one. If the dollar, we're talking about the dollar here. If the dollar continues to sell off and we see the euro rally, the dollar yen sell off, I want to show you a key reversal in the US dollar Mexican peso. This one I've been targeting on the short side, and I played it short twice at the end of last week, okay? Because we had a failed breakout at a major 38% retracement. You can see that 38% retracement. We had a false breakout on Wednesday. You see the false breakout? Then we reversed. And then we had two Morrow black, closing black candles. And those are very bearish candles. And if you look at the weekly candle, that is an outside week engulfing several weeks of movement. The US dollar Mexican peso looks bearish. It looks like we're heading back to 1850, maybe all the way back to 18. So if the dollar stays pressured, the US dollar Mexican peso should also stay on your radar, okay? And guys and gals, if you love this video and you love our videos every week, please click the like button on YouTube, you know, that little thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. That encourages us to continue to do these videos and do our weekly free webinars. And if you don't catch the face webinar with Dale Pinkert, you should every day, and he has great interviews. So if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll never miss an interview. We had a great interview from Adam on Movement Capital, from Movement Capital last week, talking about the COT reports. You should go listen to that because I learned a few things. And last but not least, I'm thankful for all of you. This is Thanksgiving week. I'm thankful for all of our listeners and all of our viewers, and I'm thankful for my team at ForexAnalytix. So trade safely, trade with care, trade with tight risk management, and I'll see you next week. Thanks. This is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix.